So, I've been playing D&D for 7 years now, and I've been a dungeon master for 4 of them, and during my time understanding the deep methodical intricacies of tabletop role-playing, I've realized that absolutely nobody could come to an agreement on what the flying chaotic neutral character alignment was supposed to be. Some people were pretty lax on it, while some people held it as code of law not to be tampered with under any circumstances, and even more still just chucked it out the window and said, you know what, fuck it, this shit's dumb, and then played a lawless wasteland without a morality system that can be compartmentalized into 9 easy M&M-sized bites. And that's sort of where the biggest problem with the alignment system lies. It tries to define morality, which is inherently the single most individualistic thing about the human psyche. It's like trying to define the concept of love outside of just a chemical reaction in your brain. It's like trying to take the feeling that somebody gets when they recall a touching memory and then trying to apply that same memory to somebody else. It's like trying to explain the ending of Lost to, well, anybody. Nobody can come up with a perfect description because it just wasn't meant to make sense. And that's why I put myself very firmly into the camp of fuck this shit, I'm out. Because without a guideline to tell you what is good and what is bad, or what is orderly and what is chaotic, players are forced to come up with those answers on their own, and it reflects on their characters, thereby making them more dynamic, because instead of having 3/4 of the party be chaotic good players that act exactly the same by pillaging and then getting upset because they're chaotic, why would they follow the rules? You instead get 3 people who view the idea of good in different ways, and so their actions taken to follow what is good are different as well. As an example, I want to talk about a campaign that I only spent 1 session playing before I quit, and it was entirely due to a difference in opinion over alignment. Keep in mind that this was like 3 years ago, so my memory is sort of choppy, but I was playing a lawful good cleric of the Silver Flame, and one of my friends was playing a lawful good paladin of the Silver Flame. Due to our different understandings of what it meant to be lawful good, my friend created a character that was determined to protect the innocent from evil via shields and heals, while I created a character that vowed to save the innocent from evil by destroying said evil before it could do any more harm. We were 2 sides of the same coin, the defender and the attacker, the shield and the sword, both lawful due to our strict code of honor and devotion to our religion, and both good to the purpose that we work to fulfill, being protecting the innocent. Now, near the end of our first session, me and my friend became privy to the information that our quest giver NPC was using an evil ring for unknown purposes that we were meant to destroy, with the formalities of, give us the ring! No. Out of the way, we jumped into action, and the rest of the party followed suit, fighting the NPC, who then turned into a giant tree monster and shot poison at us. This was even more of an indicator that maybe he wasn't all that good a guy, and we stomped him flat and took his, well, ring. At this point, the DM had made it clear that he was irritated, as the NPC had apparently been using the plant ring to do something good for the town, and the evil ring was slowly killing him for it. This launched an hour-long debate about what it meant to be lawful good, during which the DM made it clear that his version of lawful was very literal. You follow the law. For killing a dude, we had violated the law, and we were thusly acting out of alignment. Now, this is a perfectly fine way to perceive an alignment, but it shows what the big problem is. The DM is supposed to be the final arbiter of the game and has final say in absolutely everything, which includes the player's character. The player, in turn, only really has control over their own character, but as I said, this is still second to the DM. When the DM enforces an alignment system, they create a guideline which they expect all characters to follow, so when there's an inevitable disagreement over how a character should act, both parties feel very strongly about it, as the character does belong to the player, but the game in which the character is in belongs to the DM. This tension is increased further when penalties for acting out of alignment are included. As I said before, I only played 1 session of that game, and that's because, as punishment for breaking my alignment, the DM allowed everyone to level up except for me. He mentioned that this level would be given to me if my character atoned for his grievances to his god, but that just sounded wrong to me in so many ways, so I walked and I never looked back. That game taught me that the alignment system, at best, is a tool for new players to come up with an idea for how the character views their actions, while at worst, it's an embargo on the free expression of your D&D character. It seems like 5th edition also came to this realization because they removed all alignment requirements from everything that used to have them, turning it into a background feature at most. So, for people who are looking into becoming a dungeon master, I won't flat out say don't use the alignment system, because if you can find a way to make it work in your game, more power to you. Big factor of D&D is that practically nothing will work for everybody 100% of the time, and that's alright. Everybody's different, but in that difference comes the knowledge that everybody perceives things a different way, and I just personally view the alignment system as dumb. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and it was definitely more of a thought study than a guide, but I'm actually interested to see what the reaction is. And hey, if it's popular, maybe I'll do more in-depth videos like this in the future. But as always, leave a like if you liked, and check out all my social media in the description below, and, you know, maybe subscribe if you want to be a really cool dude. But yeah, Davvy out.